it comes to your relationship or marriage. Anybody that's stupid enough to take any marital advice, any relationship advice from somebody that ain't in no relationship, that's not in the marriage, somebody that's known not to ever be able to keep a relationship for more than 6 months, somebody that's been divorced and now she's bitter or just hateful when it comes to that, if you take advice from that person, your relationship is gonna be doomed. Matter of fact, if you go and confide in that person, this person would never tell you anything positive. I ain't never been married. My married partners can't come ask me nothing about what I do in a marriage scenario. They can't, because my experience is only in relationships. And a relationship, you got to do some work to make that relationship work. You got to put in a little work, but you ain't got to put in nearly as much if you in the marriage. You know what I'm saying? I can say, you know what, I ain't got time for this shit. I ain't going to put up with this here, and I can bust a move. I can go out of a relationship. A marriage is more commitment, it's more paperwork, it's going to be more messy, it's more steps to just get a divorce versus I can just say, you know what, I'm done, I'm out of this relationship. So if anybody crazy enough to take any kind of marriage advice or relationship advice from somebody that doesn't do good in that area anyway, you crazy. I'm not going to ask a goddamn truck driver how to fly a plane. All right, check this out, man. I'm going to need y'all help with this. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to need y'all help with this right here. Y'all let me know if my boy was wrong or was he right? You know what I'm saying? Did he need any problems from the wife and any issues? And y'all know I'm talking about Coworker Joe. You know what I'm saying? Since Coworker Joe last two incidents with his wife, we're getting caught cheating, and his wife was going to cheat back, but she didn't, but she kind of scared him straight. So I hadn't been in the office for a while because I went on vacation, and I hadn't really just came up there. And then when I do go up there, Joe get in probably like an hour after I get in. So most time I have to try to get in and out, you know what I'm saying? So I might miss Joe. So last week, I made it to the office and I hung around a little bit longer, and Joe came in and he's like, damn, man, I thought you wasn't coming back. I'm like, nah, bro, you know, I've been needing a break from this place, man. I've been trying to stay out the mix. He's like, man, I feel you, man. I feel you. I've been trying to stay out the mix, too. I'm like, how you trying to stay out the mix and you work in the office? He talking about, nah, just in life, period. I'm trying to stay out the mix, man. And, you know, I've been doing real good, man. I ain't been in no drama, no trouble. I ain't been fooling with these women. Ever since my wife pulled that stunt with old boy, man, that shit scared me straight. I like, yeah, Joe, yo. I said, sometimes you gotta put people in your shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta put people in them same shoes that you done had them in for them to recognize. I said, it's crazy when a person can't learn by other people's mistakes. I know people that done learn by other people's mistakes and save themselves a lot of drama, a lot of heartbreak, pain, a lot of money. But everybody that I knew that said they can't learn from other people's mistakes, they paid a real big price, either with their life or they end up being locked up for a long time. And I just don't get it. That's like really some hard-headed shit. But I'm like, bro, you know, you really hard-headed, and it took you a minute for you to straighten up, man. If you have a good wife at home, bro, all this playing out here in these streets, homie, they ain't gonna do nothing but bring you nothing but trouble. But I'm like, but since you've been chilling, though, what's the issue? He said, well, man, goddamn it, man, you know what? He said, man, I went to lunch last week. And I just ran down there to Whataburger real quick, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, we only got an hour. So I just ran down there to Whataburger. But I decided to eat at Whataburger. So he said, I walked in and I ordered my food, got my little number, got my little drink, and I'm going to sit down. And he said, as I was waiting on my food, an old familiar face from school. He like an old classmate named Trish came in. And he said, man, me and Trish was real cool in school, man, and we ain't seen each other. It's been probably like 2 decades since I seen Trish. Now, I see her on social media, but I ain't seen her in person in a long time. You know how we do. People move on, grow up, different lives and stuff take you on different paths. I'm like, yeah, I said, yeah, I get it, man, I get it. And he say, yeah, so when the lady brought me my food, when me and Trish locked eyes, we both, she waved, I waved back or whatever, and she walked on over after she ordered her food, and she walked over, she's like, hey, boy, what's up, how you been, where you been? So I got up and we hugged each other, and I sat back down, and so she was just sitting there talking to me. She was still standing up, and I was just unwrapping my burger or whatever, getting my ketchup and my fries ready, and we was like, how you been, where you been, what you been up to, the regular stuff people do when they haven't seen each other in a while, and we used to be good friends. And so by the time we get into this conversation, the people bring her food, and so she was getting ready to sit at the table across. I'm like, girl, see, you can sit right here, man. It's just me. I'm just here for my lunch real quick. And she's like, all right, cool. So she sit down. She sit down, and now we eating, we talking, and we catching up. Pure innocence. I'm like, okay, yeah, I understand that, Joe. Yeah, pure innocence or whatever. And so, give me shit straight, man. Give me shit straight. Yeah. So he said like 30, 40 minutes into the conversation, he said, I noticed my wife's best friend walk in, Kim. And I didn't think nothing of it, but at the same time, I'm like, this ain't gonna be a good look. You know what I mean? And so Kim walked in, ordered her food, and she looked over and seen me and Trish at the table, and immediately I seen her facial expression, and I knew it was gonna be an issue. So Kim come over to speak like, hey Joe, you on your lunch break or something, boy? And he like, yeah, I'm on my lunch break. And she like, oh, well, who is this? He like, oh, this is my old classmate Trish. We just happened to bump into each other here, and so we just sitting down catching up. She like, oh, okay, all right, Joe, well, you do you. And Kim walked back to the front counter waiting on her food. So Trish was like, who is that? He like, oh, that's my wife's best friend. And I'm like, oh, I ain't gonna get you in no trouble, nothing like that. And Joe like, man, I'm a grown ass man. I ain't gonna get in trouble. I'm a grown ass man. And Joe like, shit, in my head, I knew it was gonna be a problem, but I couldn't, look like I was somebody's child at this motherfucker. So Kim leaves. Kim get her food and she leave. And Joe and Trish wraps up their conversation, and Joe, he leaves and head back to the job. And I'm like, yeah, Joe. I said, well, before you go any further, bruh, I say, I kind of already know where you're going with this. You know what I'm saying? But you got a track record, and it's kind of hard to overcome that when you're dealing with people that can't forgive or forget. He say, that's my point exactly. He said, when I got home, before I could even say, hey, baby, how was your day? She was like, I see you back to your old shit again, huh? He like, what? He like, yeah. I see you back out here trying to make me look stupid again, huh? And Joe like, what the hell you talking about? Like, I just walked in, you ain't must say, hey, baby, or how was my day? What are you talking about? So you ain't run into Kim today? You're like, yeah, I seen Kim today. She pulled up at Whataburger while I was at lunch with a friend. Telling me, here you go again with this friend stuff. Ain't that why you in trouble? You was in trouble in the first place? Because you're too friendly, and these friends, every friend you done had was somebody you was really fooling around with. So now you back out here playing in my face, making me look stupid. And Joe like, hold on, baby, hold on. Now, I already know how it looked. And I'm pretty sure with Kim messy ass, because all these women always got a messy ass homegirl that can't keep a man because she don't know how to treat a man, and then she can't stand for her woman to even have a man. You know what I'm saying? It's always gonna be a female interfering, lonely bitches. You know what I'm saying? It's always gonna be a woman interfering and telling you what you should stand for or not stand for when it comes to your relationship or marriage. Anybody that's stupid enough to take any marital advice, any relationship advice from somebody that ain't in no relationship, that's not in the marriage, somebody that's known not to ever be able to keep a relationship for more than 6 months, somebody that's been divorced and now she's bitter or just hateful when it comes to that. If you take advice from that person, your relationship is going to be doomed. Matter of fact, if you go and confide in that person This person would never tell you anything positive. I ain't never been married. My married partners can't come ask me nothing about what I do in a marriage scenario. They can't, because my experience is only in relationships. And a relationship, you got to do some work to make that relationship work. You got to put in a little work, but you ain't got to put in nearly as much if you in the marriage. You know what I'm saying? I can say, you know what, I ain't got time for this shit. I ain't going to put up with this here, and I can bust a move. I can go out of a relationship. A marriage is more commitment, it's more paperwork, it's going to be more messy, it's more steps to just get a divorce versus I can just say, you know what, I'm done, I'm out of this relationship. So if anybody crazy enough to take any kind of marriage advice or relationship advice from somebody that doesn't do good in that area anyway, you crazy. I'm not going to ask a goddamn truck driver how to fly a plane. No, I'm not. It just, they ain't got no experience. They ain't got no good information for me. I don't want to hear it. You understand me? So, Joe's wife say, yeah, Kim told me she seen you at Whataburger with some hoe. Of course, it got to be, you know, she can't just be some woman. It got to be a hoe. Joe say, baby, I seen Kim now, and I introduced Kim to Trish. Oh, Trish. I ain't heard that bitch name before. I ain't heard Trish before. Shit, this must be where you get this one from. He like, I ain't get this one from nowhere, baby girl. It's just listen to me. I was at lunch. Trish is an old classmate I haven't seen in person in over 20 years. And she just happened to walk in the same Whataburger. We hadn't seen each other other than social media. And she came over to speak, and we started catching up. They brought her foods, and I just told her, go on, just have a seat. Like, we friends. We're not strangers. Like, I mean, how weird is that for her to sit at another table and I'm at another table, or we trying to have a conversation across the way? She just sit right here. It was innocent. She talking about, I don't know if it was innocent, because Ray Kim told me that it looked like y'all was in a deep, deep conversation. It was like it was more than just two friends talking. Joe say, Kim lonely ass wouldn't even know what it looked like for two people to be in a deep conversation, because she too stupid to even hold a damn conversation with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, why are you listening to Kim? Like, Kim never liked me, and I never liked her. Granted, I might have messed up, and you confiding in your friends would turn them against me and have them with an opinion about me based on the things you done told them. And now, when we get our shit back together, they still holding that same animosity against me. You know what I mean? People. This is a lesson that I had to learn, and sometimes I still got to remind myself about it. Just because you and your companion got into an argument or a spat, the minute you run outside the house and start telling your sister, your cousin, your homegirl, your mama about what Leroy did to you or what Leroy said, because first of all, you're not going to go tell the whole truth. Nobody is a villain in their own story. Nobody is a villain. It's rare that somebody say, you know what, I'm going to tell you right now, I know I was wrong when I did this and did that. It's rare that somebody say that. So when you go and tell your victimized story, of course you always the victim, and your homegirl, whoever, get to talking shit about your man with you, yeah, you okay with that because you're mad. But what about next week, 2 weeks, a month later, you and your man back doing good, and your friends still want to bring up, girl, you still fool with him? Or girl, you trust him? Shh. What they know nothing that no good ass dude doing it at home, and then you got an attitude with her, like, girl, let me talk about my man. Well, you put her in the business, and then she became into the business. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. Do not run to your friends bashing the person you with. And don't be talking that shit about, man, I'm finna leave this dude. Man, I'm done with that girl. I ain't ever fooling with that girl no more. Because you know what's going to happen? As soon as y'all get back good and y'all back out here living y'all best life and enjoying each other, it's going to be somebody that's going to remind you, I thought you said you weren't going to fool with her no more. I thought you said it was a rap for her. And now you in your feelings. Because they rehashing, they pulling the scab off the wound of something that you done tried to heal from. Don't do it. So, Joe say, baby, look here. I understand I done had a bad track record. And I understand that I'm still trying to get back in your good grace and clean that up. But when would I be off of trial? You know what I'm saying? When will you see me and forgive me? Like, if you're going to continue with this relationship, this marriage, then you cannot, I'm not asking you to forget, but I'm asking you to forgive. You know what I mean? And just because you remember my bad deeds, it don't mean that you got to keep bringing it up. You got to keep holding it on my head. And it also don't mean I need to kiss your ass just because I have done some wrong. Because the minute you decide to continue in this marriage with me, you decided to forgive me. And I'm not going to be held hostage over this constant reminder that I messed up. If I'm in the shower and you at work and you call my phone and I can't get to my phone, by the time I get out the shower, I do not want to get to my phone and read text messages like, damn, why you ain't picking up? Damn, I called you twice. Damn, you must be you must be out here doing your dirt again. Damn, can you get out the phone with her for a minute to call your wife back? He like, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that. I understand why you're doing that, but you understand, once you move forward with me, after all these things I've done wrong, then you need to let it go. Because that's only if the man is putting forth effort. You know what I'm saying? Joe stopped going out. Joe stay home on the weekends. If Joe even try to move around and go to the store, he always asks his wife, do you want to go? It's kind of hard to live that life, but you got to make up for the things you done wrong. But it's hard to make up for those things when you got a person that won't let you make it. That's terrible. That's hard. That's like I'm constantly being punished over and over. So Joe tell his wife, like, baby girl, I've learned my lesson. Now, I don't think that I should be in trouble because I happen to go to a random Whataburger. A friend randomly came in there and we just was catching up. Nothing more, nothing less. So I'm asking y'all, is there an issue? Put yourself in these shoes, whether your man or woman is known to cheat. If your man or woman goes somewhere for lunch or whatever, they end up running to an old friend of the opposite sex and that friend sit down, is that considered you went to lunch with somebody? Is that considered you had lunch with somebody? Or should you be free and clear, just like, hey, man, I walked in a restaurant or they came in right after me and we just end up sitting down having lunch catching up. That's not a lunch date. That was just some randomly happened and no harm, no foul. Y'all let me know, all right? I told Joe, you need to bring your lunch to work for the next 2-3 months, bro. Fuck, don't go. Bring your sack lunch. I don't give a damn. Get you a Lunchable and Capri Sun, bro. But you can't. Trouble just find you, homie. Stay your ass in the office doing lunch.